Entertaining, informative, and educational. Inspiring content that makes a difference.
This is the Maximus Troy Publications Broadcasting Network.
Join the Academy.
I've hit the dead zone, lassie. I'll ruin me chickens for the last time. Quick, Bertie, get the number for the Breeders' Academy.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Bred to Perfection. I'm Kenny Troiano, founder of the Breeders' Academy, and I'm here with my wife Nancy and my co-host Frank Bradley. What's going on, you guys? How you doing?
What's all this happy birthday stuff? What's the people chiming in here on the happy birthday? What's that all about?
Turned 61 or something. I don't know.
The cat is out of the bag, and I let it out.
Just so you know, guys, I take cash. Cash is always good. Just send it to my address, and I'll be happy to go and spend it for you. So, yeah. I appreciate that big. So
happy birthday, buddy.
It's funny. My mom and dad, they called me this morning and they actually, both of them at the same time, sang me happy birthday over the phone. You know, the full happy birthday song. And they get to the end. My mom goes, so what do you think? And my dad gets in there and goes, I don't think he knows who we are. And I go, no, I know who you are. I'm just, you know, if this is what I get for 61, I wonder what I'm going to get for 62. You know, you're going to have to up your game next year, don't you?
Walt, my father-in-law, Walt, he is terrible for that. He will sing the whole thing or nothing. I mean, it for everybody. That's for every family member. He does it every year.
You know, 61. God, it just seemed like yesterday I turned 60. You know, it's like yesterday. I don't know where we were. We were at a park, and we were telling somebody that my birthday's tomorrow, and they're going, "Oh, what?" You know, well, the short story is that I was clinging on to 60 to the very last moment, to the very last minute. I didn't want to give up 60 and go to 61 that easily. So, but I've been like that for every birthday.
So he's not telling it right. She wished him, a good friend of ours, wished him happy birthday. And he goes, you can't wish me happy birthday yet. I'm still 60. My birthday is not till tomorrow. She's like, well, I might not see you tomorrow. She goes, I don't care. I'm still 60.
So, well, you have to look at it this way, buddy. You're that much closer to retirement. Okay.
Oh, that is not going to ever happen.
No, I'm not retiring. That's not going to happen.
Not him. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He'll be retired when he's 6 feet underground. That's when you will be able to say, yeah, Kenny retired.
That will be me, but it's not because I want to. It's because I have to. So,
yeah. No, I love what I do. What we're doing is a lot of fun, and it's only going to get bigger. And no, I don't see myself quitting, doing anything else.
Well, the thing of it is, it's a mission. It's something that we started over 20 years ago with Kenny writing the articles for a few of the magazines and some of the international magazines as well. And it has become a mission for us to get the word out on how to breed your chickens, as well as, you know, we've got other people in there that do not breed chickens, but breed dogs, fish, goats, pigs, cows, all kinds. Yep. And our breeding program works for them as well.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a heck of a journey. Never knew where it was going to take me. Just kind of followed the breadcrumbs from magazine to books to courses to website to membership site to the podcasting and live show. I have no idea when it's going to end. But, you know, that's what we're going to talk about today is the Breeders' Academy. And we're going to show you inside the Breeders' Academy, kind of give you a kind of a quick look. We're not going to be able to go through all of it, of course, but kind of give you an idea of what we have to offer. And I think even after showing you what we're going to show you, it's not going to compare to what you actually being able to get in there and then, you know, just go and look around, do your own thing. Okay, so we do have a Black Friday sale going on right now. So you can actually go to the website and sign up. The deal this year, which is an expansion of what we did last year, is if you join for 2 years, you actually get the 3rd year free. The other levels, I took off the initiation fee and lowered the quarterly just a little bit. So there's some good deals to be had right now. If you join for the 3 years, you don't have to worry about the payments for a while. That's the cool thing about it. And I was surprised how many people, especially last year, took advantage of the deal because we went from a 1-year deal to a 2-year deal. And it was amazing how many took it. This is actually going to expire on the 30th of November. So, and then that deal goes away. I don't know what we're going to do for Christmas. I'm not even sure we're going to do anything for Christmas, you know, as far as deals go. This is a hard website to give deals on. You know, because you can't really give them a price break or lower the price. Because once you get to a certain level or a certain price per level, you kind of have to stay pretty close to it, you know. So we don't really do that. And if you're already in the website, the price you have will stay there. So even if we raise the price, it'll never change for you guys. It'll just, and I still got people in there that are paying $12.95 for when it first started. So you can imagine the deal they have.
Well, even really even at its current price, though, Kenny, just say, for instance, you didn't have the Founders Program on there and you just had everything about breeding. To me, the price that you've got it right now, the walk-in deal, the monthly, the way you got it priced right now, it's worth it just for that because it's amazing how people don't know each program. And I'm going to say this. It's probably moot, okay? I'm going to say it anyway. I've said it till I'm blue in the face, but the people that I grew up with and the people that bred birds or raised chickens always thought that line breeding was the beginning, the middle, and end to every breeding program. And I have been trying so hard to convince them it's not. It's only one little small drop in an ocean of programs. And what you have inside the breeding program or the website, just the layout of each breeding program itself, not how it's used, but how it's made up, what it's used for each one, is well worth that. I mean, we're talking a couple bags of feed here a month, okay? And a lot of people, it will blow your mind to what you think and what you've been told and the real scientific part behind each method and each program. So that's going to blow their minds in itself, let alone once they get over into the Founders Program after reading all those articles or listening to them, and then getting over there and seeing it put together the way it needs to be to breed. I mean, it just blows your mind.
There's just so much information in there. And I've heard it so many times when I do coaching calls, I hear it a lot where they're saying that I'm paying like $50 a month and I'm glad to do it. It's worth way more than that. You know, that does make me feel pretty good. There was a time when we first started the website, I was a little worried that, you know, they're going to get in there and look around and go, oh, this ain't worth $50 a month, you know, and then quit. I haven't worried about, ask Nancy, I have not worried about that at all in a long time, you know. I'm pretty confident that once they get in there, they're going to like what they see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
So much information. I mean, and this is the part that I really had a problem with. And I'm sure everybody else does too. When you go in, you have to really pace yourself. You really need to go to the Start Here buttons, which Kenny, I'm jumping the gun here, but Kenny will get into that later. But there's so much stuff in there. I couldn't get done reading one article till I wanted to jump over to something else. I mean, it's all laid out and there's nothing else like it. I mean, you can find it here and there, but it either starts off and leaves you in the middle, or it's so mixed up you don't understand it the way it's written. I mean, could you find it? Yeah, you probably could if you know what you're looking for. But to have it all there, laid out, written out, and this is the main key, to where you can understand it. It's not in the scientific writing. It's to where you can understand it, especially on the genetics and the dominant traits and the recessive trait, all that. I mean, I said a million times, Kenny, what if me and you had this at, say, 20 years old and had dove into this? Where would we be today?
And I can think of a few people back in the day when I was younger that I would, if they had a website like this, I would have joined it.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Yes.
Except for this website, I don't know of any other, you know, teachers out there that I would join. For me, I just don't get it. I don't get enough of what they already provide. And that's always been the hard thing too, is providing really good information in our podcast, in our live show, but not give out the farm, but still kind of give them an idea. We know what we're talking about. That's always been the hard part. And the way we're doing the show now, where we have the front end for the public, and then we have the back end for the members. Oh my God, that, you know, Frank and I said it all the time. It's like, how do you sound smart when you leave so much out? And it was really tough we always felt at the end of the show, when we talk about it at the end, that it was really tough to, you know, express ourselves and teach it and know that we're leaving some things out and then have to work around it. Sometimes I felt like I kept asking Frank, did I sound like an idiot? Because I was working so hard around certain topics that I'm not even sure I made sense half the time. But we've gotten really good, Frank and I, how we do the front end. I have it well scripted so that we're careful. We're you know, not all over the place. It's, you know, we're going through the outline one step at a time and being careful what we say. Then we go in the back end, and the members know. They know what they can ask in the front end, and they know what they can ask in the back end. And I got to tell you, I really appreciate the members who protect the integrity of the website as if it were their own. I can't tell you how much that means to me. You know, we hate leaving things out, but this is how we make a living. And if we didn't, you wouldn't join. And without, you know, the website, we wouldn't have the show. So it all kind of works together. It's like, to keep the website going, we need to generate members. That takes the show. But if the show gives all the information, nobody joins the membership, then there's no reason to do the show. Okay. And so I always tell people, just give it a chance and check it out. But I think we've found our groove, Frank. I think that's what I was trying to say. I went off topic, actually. We found our groove. We figured out how to do the front end, and we figured out how to do the back end, and it all works now.
Well, how many times do we go over to the back end? I mean, you both was like, whew, now we can relax. You know, it takes all the pressure off, because, and I'm sure Kenny can say the same thing, I'm so afraid that I'm going to say something that I shouldn't say, you know, and then before it's over with. But even though if we did, it's really not going to make a difference, because Kenny knows, Nancy knows, without the entire website, it's like a puzzle. You're taking pieces out of it. You can't do the whole puzzle without certain pieces in it. And that's the way Kenny's got the website set up. It's the information to explain everything in a way that you understand it, and then go into the breeding program. And by then, you know what you're doing, you know what's going on, you're familiar with the process, and it makes it so much easier to go into it and actually put hands on to it.
I don't want to say every member, but many members have told me that they tried to re-engineer the Founders Program just by what we teach. Now, I'm going to give you a little clue here.
On the free show.
On the free site.
The free show, yeah.
Okay. from what we teach from the actual podcast and the live show on the free side. Now, I will say this. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag just a little bit, but you're going to realize it's not the gift that you think it is. We've probably told you, if you somewhere on the front end, all the answers to the Founders Program are there. But they're so scattered and so subtle that you could easily miss it. And we're almost up to 200 episodes. So get ready, go, because you're not going to get it done. You know what I mean?
No, they're not going to be able to view all those episodes because most of those episodes are inside the Breeders' Academy for the members.
Nancy, this is actually the podcast I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
okay.
Episodes. If you want to go through every 200 episodes and think, here's the other thing. All the elements of the Founders Program are there, but they're subtle. You got to recognize it, and you got to put them in the right order. So good luck with that. You know,
that would be hard for me and Kenny to do, even, and we know what we're looking for and how it's laid out, and that'd be hard for us to go through the shows and pick it out and put it together. I mean, that would be impossible. But if you really want to know if it's doable, ask our good friend George. George will tell you he tried for a longest time to do that on the front end, and he just finally gave it up and become a member. And he says, after he got in there, he says, "Now I see why I could never figure it out."
It's funny. It's not complex either. You're going to get in there and you're going to look at the Founders Program and you're going to go, God, why didn't I think of that? You know, it's so simple, so much common sense. Why didn't I think of that? But until you actually see it, you wouldn't have thought about it. Okay. But it's so much common sense. And so you have the Founders Program, which is laid out really good. And then you have all the programs and courses to support it. And then you have Frank and I for coaching calls to help you along the way. So we never leave you hanging. You know, you just have to know that we're going to schedule a coaching call. It's not something I can do like the next day. And as soon as they come in, it's like first come, first serve. So we have to schedule them. That's all.
Well, when we started doing the back end, Kenny, did you notice the difference in the coaching call declines?
They went way down. But
yeah, because we was answering a lot of the questions in the back end. So how many times have we been back there, guys, talking about stuff, talking with the members, and they'd be, a couple of them would be, Kenny, scratch me off for next week's coaching call, or 2 weeks from now, I got my answer, what I needed. So I mean, we enjoy the coaching calls, but if it can save you some time and give you the answer, that's a win-win for all of us.
Hey, Kenny, before you get going, so let's talk a little bit about that Black Friday sale. So they're actually going to pay for 2 years and get the third year free. He got into the membership website last Black Friday sales. He wants to know, is there a particular way that we have to go about continuing our enrollment? And he was thinking about doing the 3 year.
Okay, so Crosby, here's what I would do for you. And I would say all the members, this is the case, is wait till your membership runs out, contact me, and I'll make sure you get that deal. You don't need to worry about the deadline for the Black Friday. This is mostly, so I want my members to be able to take advantage of it, but I don't want you to worry about what your current level is, what's going on with that. So just let your present one run out, and we'll just contact me, let me know, and then we'll get you re-signed up with the new one. I can easily do that, no problem. This is mostly for new members. So they have the deadline, which would be November 30th.
That would make it so much more simpler to do that way too.
Yeah. So they don't have to worry about it or anything. Just, that's all they need to do. I really take care of my present and past members. I can't tell you how good it feels when, I get it. Obviously I get excited and it feels good when I get new members. Okay. And then I tell Nancy this all the time. We were talking about the other day, but when I get a former member wanting to come back in, that's the one that makes me feel the best, because they already know it's in the website. They've already paid the price to get in, and they want back in. And that, that tells me a lot right there. That makes me feel good.
Well, you think once you go in, you think, okay, I read all this stuff. I've got it. I don't need it anymore. It's gone. It doesn't work that way. I promise you it doesn't work that way, because 2-3 months into it, you're blank. You're a blank back over again. You have to go back in. There's just so much information that's in there that remembering it all without having it at your fingertips, it's impossible.
I'm always improving what's already in there. We're always adding new material. And now Frank and I are doing the Masters class videos. So that does make me feel good when a member wants to get back in. And I was going to say, we've got the Masters class videos that we're doing, and it's almost like these shows we're doing right now. This is a special. This is kind of a special edition because we're going to talk about the website all day. But all the other topics we're doing, because we have our topic for the front end, we have our topic for the back end. And what I do is I go and I connect them together. I edit through them. I kind of clean them up. I add banners and pictures to further explain. I take out all the promotional stuff and I put it back on the website for the members. And I've had so many members go, I watched that live one. This is completely different. You know what I mean? So the videos that the members are getting is completely different than the public's getting. So that's a special too.
Well, the thing of it is it's the same topic, but because you have the illustrations, it's not the same topic.
The front end is the same topic, but we clean it up so much and take the promos out. It's a lot shorter and condensed, which the members like. The back end's a completely different topic.
Okay, but what I mean, when you clean it up and you add illustrations and such to it, it feels like it's different, but it really isn't. It's just more improved.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah,
that was my point.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up. Okay.
Why am I here tonight?
I thought it was to keep us straight, but I think we're gonna have to keep you straight.
I don't think so.
Okay, so let me do a couple things real quick here. I hope you join the website, but even if you don't, go to www.breedersacademy.com and join our free newsletter, which is our Breeders Bulletin. You're going to get a lot of good information. You're going to get some free tips, some free ebooks. So go to www.breedersacademy.com. The doors are open right now, so you can join anytime. If you want the Black Friday sale, make sure to get in there before November 30th. Just go to the registration page. There's 3 levels there. Pick the level you want, and you'll be in before you know it. So as soon as you sign up, you get instant access to the website.
It's a fast enrollment. It's not like most podcasts. You're 30 minutes trying to get in, and
So one of the ways to get in there, and you can find the links all over my Facebook page. But if you go to, like I said, www.breedersacademy.com, it'll take you to this page. This is actually my free site. You can also get to some of the pages by scrolling down. This will take you to the podcasts. We have the podcast on this website. You can sign up to the newsletter by clicking here. And then you can click here. It'll take you right to the actual website, the membership website, where you can join. And then that just talks about the Black Friday. This is the old website tour, which this one will replace that. So if you want to watch that, it'll be on there for probably a few more days, and you can check that out. So if you go up to the top, it'll take you, like I said, to the where the podcasts are. Just click on one of these. It'll take you inside. There'll be some a little bit of show notes. Most of the show notes are actually in the website itself, but the podcast is really good. And then you go to... This is where you'll sign up to the newsletter. And even like I said, even if you're not going to join the Breeders Academy, go ahead and join the free newsletter. A lot of people are glad they did. Between the Facebook, what I put on Facebook, what we do on the show, the podcast, and the live show, and the newsletter, that's going to help you decide whether this website is for you. So make sure you do that. Okay, so if you want to become a member, just click on Become a Member. This will take you to the actual website. I'm already logged in, so I don't have to log in because once you become a member, you'll have a special login page. This is the home page, but if you're not logged in, you won't see the menus. But I'm going to go to the registration page. All you need to do is scroll down. We have 3 membership levels. We have the Master's Class monthly plan, which is $49.95. We have the Master's Class quarterly plan, which is $139.95. And right now we have the Grand Master Class, which is a 3-year plan for $9.95. After November 30th, it'll be just a 1-year plan. If you decide it's not for you, you can quit anytime. You can actually cancel anytime. The annual, this particular 3-year plan is not reoccurring. So at the end of 3 years, it will end, and you'll have to, if you want to get back in, you'll have to contact me and we'll re-sign you up. But if for the 1-year plan, it is reoccurring. So if you join the 1-year plan normally, make sure you put in your calendar that it's going to end at a certain date. So if you decide you don't want to stay in for another year, it won't charge you.
So Kenny, while you were explaining the different options that people have, I had asked the question to our members. I said, members, what do you like best about the Breeders Academy? So here are a few of the answers that we got.
Yeah. Master's class videos. Everything.
So hard to pick one thing. The Master's class videos. And Dee says everything. Just wanted to share that with you.
Now, I can't blame them for liking the master class videos, because I don't care to read, but now that I'm in the age that I am, we won't go there. But it's a little harder on my eyes, you know, with headaches and everything reading. So I do a lot of it just by the videos now. And it even if it's an article, I've got an Apple phone, so I just go in and highlight everything, put the plugs in, and let it, you know, read it to me. And a lot of times I'll fall asleep in bed just having that thing go off like that. But I think that's the reason a lot those videos are so. It gives you a different outlook. Me and Kenny trying to make it a conversation rather than it's just like you sitting there and listen to me and Kenny talk about it. Really, is what it is. And I think that's the reason a lot of people. I'm the same way. I'm not a big reader now. I'd rather listen to it than I would read it myself.
And that's a good point. You know, even if you're not a reader and you just don't want to do all that reading, it's like Frank said, I'm going to show you how to do that in a second, where like he said, you can highlight it. Now, Apples, Macs, they come with it already in the computer, already in the phone. PC or Samsung, what do they call those phones that are not Macs? I think you have to download an
Androids.
app. Yeah, Android. You have to download the app to be able to do that. But it's a real neat thing because it sounds good. It flows. It's easy to understand. You can listen to it all you want. So we have a lot of. We'll talk about this in a second, but we have a lot of audio on here. We have a lot of videos on here. But on the text, if you don't feel like reading it, then you can highlight it, and I'll show you how to do that. And then it just plays it for you and listen to it. It's awesome. You know,
you can speed it up, slow it down, the voice, how fast they read it. So I really like that part of it, because when I first done it, it was like, blah, 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 and you couldn't understand. It sounded like you was at an auctioneer, you know. And then Amanda, I said, I can't do that. I can't understand. She's like, well, here, just slow it down. And she showed me how to do that. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
You can even change the type of voice.
Yeah.
From English to, you know, Australian to whatever dialect you want, it'll do for you. It's kind of cool. So
hey, Kenny, in the first option, the $49.95, after like December 1st, does it go back to the $100 startup fee?
Yeah, most likely.
So you want to talk about that a little bit? That'll be a good idea for people to get in now.
I mean, what I normally do is, because we do feel like the information in here is pretty valuable. Okay. So we kind of make you make a commitment. We force you to make the commitment, I guess you could say. And that I don't want you just to get in and look around and get out. Okay. If I sense that's what's happening, then things are going to change. And I don't think you're going to learn anything, tell you the truth. I think you're going to come here, waste your money, and you're not going to learn a darn thing. You really need to commit. You need to say, okay, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to try to spend, everybody asks me, how long do I need to be in there to really learn? 3 months? I don't think you're going to learn a lot in 3 months either. I mean, you're going to learn something, of course, if you're going to be in there every minute of the day, but how much can you absorb? So I always tell people, try to, you know, if you can, plan on being there 3 years, and then run through the programs like I'm going to show you, and then use it as a reference after that. And I think you're going to get a lot out of it. But there's just so many levels to this website. Like I said, you have the videos, you have the master's class videos, you have the programs and the courses. You have the Founders Program, but you also have Frank and Me. As a lot of you guys know, I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. I don't really answer a lot of messages. I don't really help people outside the website. I just don't have time for that, for one thing. But so if you really want help with, getting the information and then learning it and getting help or guidance along the way, which would be Frank and Me, this is the best way to go. It's a really cool package when you think about it.
Here today with all this wives' tales, superstition type stuff. I mean, it's just over the years, without knowing the proper way and the science behind it all, it just got blown way out of proportion. It's just like a virus, really. It takes off with a few people, and then next thing you know it, we've got thousands, millions infected with it. And that's the way it is right now. But I will say this, Kenny. I mean, you talk about this quite often since the Breeders' Academy has come on board, and you've got up all these members that's on the inside. We're starting to see the language change.
Yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. It's funny. In some of the other shows that are out there, they're trying to teach something, or they're trying to teach some of the stuff we teach, but they're kind of contrary to what we do. And it's funny because our members are in the chat teaching them. It's like my members know more than them, which is kind of cool, Well,
so. I've said this a million times, but the thing of it is, I don't care what it is you're doing. If you can't explain the functions of it and the science behind it and really know it inside and out, then you're not teaching anything. You're just talking. You're having a discussion. In order for something to work, somebody should be able to ask you a question and get something besides, well, what do I do here? Well, you don't understand it. I've done it all these years. I know what I'm talking about. You'll just have to get there. That's not teaching. No. That is not teaching.
Yeah. And most of it's old wives' tales and superstitions anyway. And they resort to best of the best, which we're going to talk about. Matter of fact, that's one of the topics we're going to cover pretty soon in the back end on an upcoming show. I've already got the outline all ready to go. I can't wait to get into it. So some of the things you're going to get as a member, you're going to get articles, you're going to get members' resources, Q&As with me. You're going to get video and audio library. You're going to get the breeders' interviews, breeding programs, specialty courses, access to the Founders Program, access to the Masters Class videos. I offer PDF study guides, which are downloadable. Members, there's a members forum in there, but we also have a Breeders' Academy members group page on Facebook where it's exclusive to the members. We'll talk more about that in a second. Members bulletins, coaching calls, complete collection of Bred to Perfection episodes. And also understand this too, and we'll talk about this a number of times, this thing is set up like a university. I've talked to many people who do online classes, and Frank said the same thing. It's set up like an online university. The only difference is there's no deadlines to meet. There's no falling behind, no needing to catch up, and you can go at your own pace, So there's no testing. A lot of people ask me, hey, can you set up like a test where you can quiz us and see where we're at, And I don't know, I thought about doing that eventually, but I don't want some people to feel like they have to take the test and then they don't like where they end up or something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure
that's the best part. That's the best part of it though, Kenny, especially for working people or somebody doesn't have a lot of time. I use the last 2 hours of my day in bed to do all my research and studying on anything that I do. And a lot of times I'll fall asleep in the midst of listening to something, watching something, or reading something. And that's my time, the last 2 hours, which, through the day, I'm doing it anyway, as far as online classes, what have you. But that's my actual 2 hours of each day that I do that. Now, not every day, but ever can. But if you can't do it, no harm, no foul, because there's no way to push you to do it. You learn at your own speed what you want to learn.
So you can go in there every day, every hour, or once a week, or once a month, whatever you want to do, whatever's good for you. You don't have to feel like you're going in there all the time.
It'd be a lot of fun to be able to create a quiz program for our members that they can go in and quiz themselves on what they know. Like
Kenny's talked about that.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
Defect, false or true, things like that.
And maybe I'll do it eventually, because a lot of the questions we're putting on Facebook,
write that down.
Those questions of the day that we do, those actually could be the questions for that particular test. So maybe little by little, I can kind of create it. And when I think I get the questions, all the questions done, and I think I have some kind of a format, then maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll put something together and they can do that. But tell you the truth, I think they're going to look what's happening, Frank. When I do those questions of the day, it's the members who all get it right. And it's the ones who aren't members who get it completely wrong on Facebook. Just so you know, if you join the annual plan, you do get my book. I have 2 books that I wrote. They're the Game Fowl Breeders Manual, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And if you do the annual plan, you actually get the ebook versions of those 2 books for free. They're part of the package.
And you can't get book 1 anymore.
But the ebook's available.
Yes, but you can't buy the book.
Okay. We were talking about that test we were doing. I could actually take the questions from the questions of the day that we use on Facebook that we've been heading the shows with and creating outlines from. We could actually use those for the tests. If I just keep creating those things. But if you notice, it's the members who get those things completely right. They make me so proud when they show their answers. They show what they think it is. 99% of the times they're right. It's the non-members that get it completely wrong, So I don't know if a test is going to benefit. It might help. It might give them confidence, but I think they're going to do well on it anyways. What's neat about this website is you learn in many formats. Okay. You can use your laptop. You can use your computer. You can use your phone, your tablet. You can learn by reading it. You can learn by video. We have a lot of videos on there. You can learn by listening. We have a lot of podcasts. We have those podcasts kind of scattered out throughout the website too. So if there's a podcast we've done or one for the members that's special to a particular topic, then those are on there as well. And then you learn through community. One of the joys is actually watching my members communicate in the groups page. We have a special exclusive groups page, and they get in there and they help each other out. They chat, and I just kind of sit aside. And sometimes I chime in, not very much, but most time I just let the members talk, help each other, and they do a great job. And it's so fun to watch them in there doing that.
And that's about every day. I mean, they're constantly in there.
Like I said, you can use it for your computer, your tablet, your phone, for your laptop. It's considered a responsive website. So any device you're using, the website automatically alters itself to fit the screen in a really good way. So sometimes I do it on my phone, sometimes I do it on my computer. And I have some members that don't have a computer at all. All they use is their phone. If you're wondering what the website is like and wondering what the members are saying about the website, go down to the bottom, and we have a lot of testimonials from our members, what they think of the website. We do have a frequently asked page. So if you have any questions and you're wondering, does the website do this? Does it accomplish that? Will it be good for me? We tried to sit down and think of all the questions people would have, and we put them on there, and then we answer them. And a lot of times a member will ask me a question, or a potential member will ask me a question. And if I think it's something we haven't covered, then I try to add it to this as well. So we try to cover all our bases so that you're getting the answer. So that I want you to join. I want you to get in there with confidence and not have to wonder whether it's good for you. I want you to kind of know ahead of time so you feel good about the purchase. Okay. So, and then this will take you to the newsletter. Frank, we have so many new functions we do that weren't there maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Like we talked about the after. I still haven't come up with a proper name for the back end show. We've called it the members only show. Nancy calls it the VIP room.
Yep.
We call it the after show. I still haven't figured out what I want to call it exactly, but that's completely new. And the members, I think the members really like that because they're getting more videos quicker. They're getting a lot more information, really good information, and it's exclusive to them. And there's no how do you say it, Frank? No bars hold?
No holds bars.
Okay. And we don't hold back. They can ask whatever they want. We go right into the Founders Program. We can answer anything they want to know about breeding, anything they need to know about the website. And it's fun for us. That's a really cool part of it.
Yeah, and the way we do the masterclass videos now. Used to, me and Kenny would just do them on the side. Kenny would edit them, and then we'd put them out, and that'd take a little while. And now Kenny's doing less editing of them. We kind of just use them raw the way, and we've been trying to do better too, by the way. And then we even had it to where the actual members were sitting in on it, asking questions as we were doing them. So we try to do it different ways to try to help everybody to learn in a different way. But they seem to really like those.
We'll have to figure something out that really sings to me. I don't think I found something that says it all for me. So we'll figure it out. The master's class videos is fairly new. We have a new page we're going to show you in a second on healthcare and disease prevention. We've worked real close with Peter Brown and Dr. Gallardo. Really good information. Kind of turned those into webinars as well. All the show notes and all the information that goes with the video is there. Sometimes you'll listen to edited version of it on the podcast, maybe even on the live show sometimes. But the full version of it is on the website with all the show notes, all the information that goes with it on that particular, let's say, disease or whatever. The complete collection of podcast episodes are on here. There's a lot of episodes I've taken off of the podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those are on the website. I should mark them, which ones they are, but they are on the website. So some of them aren't available on those platforms anymore. The complete collection or archive of the live shows now. If you look at YouTube now, I only keep maybe 25 videos on there, and I'm always taking some off. It starts getting a little up there. I take a few more off. So there's only a handful on YouTube right now. All of the rest of them are archived on the website. And like I said, not only are you getting those videos that nobody's getting it anymore, but you're actually getting now the members version of them. So they're completely different.
I counted 8 the last time that I was on there looking at them. I think there was 8 altogether.
Let's see. The live show, there might be 8 or 9. And then you have some of the podcasts that came over. I think altogether, the videos that are on there, I think altogether there might be like 26, if I remember right.
Yeah. The 8 was just the recent live shows. The newer ones wasn't the podcast, just a live show. So not very many of them on there. But I like the way you've got them put together on there now, though, Kenny. Before, if you went in and tried to find something, you really had to dig to find it. But now it's pretty simple to find it the way you've got them in order now. The way it's all laid out on the inside, it makes it much easier to find on the episode that you're looking for now.
How about Behind the Curtain with Kenny and Friends? I think our members are going to figure out a name for that for us, you know.
I always told him, I said, Kenny, come on. It's just a Breeders' Academy roundtable. I've always told him that.
You know, I like that actually. But usually
I always thought that's what it was.
But the back end's usually just me and you. Sometimes Nancy joins us, sometimes she doesn't.
Yeah, but if you take the members and they're with us.
They are.
So we're actually all sitting at a table together. Or a couch, sofa, or whatever. So
maybe I should try to figure that one out. I do like that. I always did. Okay. So another thing about the videos that are archived and the audios that are archived on the website, you get the show notes and all the information that goes with that topic, which you don't get on YouTube, which you don't get on the podcast venues, and you don't get on the free site. So like if we do a particular topic, the show notes are on there, all the information that goes with it, which is really cool. And if there's any illustrations that go with it, those will be on there too. It's not new. We've been doing it for quite a while, but I like to mention it because I think it's that important. It's the coaching calls. The coaching calls really changed the game because when I first started, I mean, God, look how much this website's changed. When we first started, we didn't do the shows. We didn't do the coaching calls. So people would have to email me and then I'd email them back. And for a while there, we didn't even think we could do coaching calls. And we found this platform here, which is called StreamYard. Now we can communicate. Not only can we do shows like we're doing now for everybody all over the world, but now using this platform, we can actually do coaching calls anywhere in the world. Before we would have had to get on the phone. It would have cost a fortune in long distance phone calls. I do coaching calls in Australia all the time, South Africa, England,
Canada,
Philippines. Canada, all over the United States, Mexico, just about everywhere I can think of. You know, we do coaching calls all the time everywhere. It's just so cool that I'm sitting down talking to someone in Canada or something, you know. It's
and it was Zoom when first started it back then. It was Zoom. We used a I think me and Kenny used the first couple ones that was Zoom, and then we switched over to StreamYard.
StreamYard, yeah.
Yeah. Zoom was not as good.
No.
Yeah. What I really like about it too is you can ahead of time send Kenny pictures of your seed fowl or whatever your question is about, and you guys can discuss those pictures during the StreamYard call.
Yeah. And when we set it up, I send them information. Said, okay, how about this date? They say, yeah, that's a good date for me. And then on the same letter, I say, any pictures or videos you need me to see or we need to talk about, send them to this email address. When we get together, I pull them up and we talk about them. It's one of the reasons I don't tape the coaching calls anymore, is because that's how it is. We're talking about their birds. It doesn't make for great audio. And on top of that, we're usually talking about the Founders Program, which I don't want to make for great audio. Okay. Everybody likes the roundtable, Frank.
You've got 2 votes for the roundtable.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually pretty good.
I liked it myself. It just brings me back to the older podcasts when we used to have, Danny Feathers and have them on and do the roundtable. It just, I guess I'm sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to do those again too.
Which that episode is only inside the Breeders' Academy, correct, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the things you do when you first join is I usually direct you to the Start Here pages, and there's many ways to get there. One of them is in the left menu right here. Okay. There's also on the right-hand side, you have up in the corner, that red banner. You just click on that. That'll take you to the Start Here pages as well. And so you just follow through the Start Here pages. And like this one is how, like a lot of people weren't sure how to log in. They kept thinking they had to go to the free site. So that video shows you how to log in. There's going to be more. There's some other videos on here that tells you what to do, and like how to navigate the website, how to get the most out of the website. And anytime a member says, "Hey, I got a problem with this," then Frank and I will try to make a video and I'll put it on here. But this Start Here page will walk you through not only the website, but which courses and programs you need to do first. Now, I don't want, this is like tough because well, I can show you this here. This is more about the first set of lessons is about learning the website, helps you navigate the website, shows you what's on the website, how to find things. And if you click this one here, this takes you into the suggested programs. So I have them set up in a really neat way. It starts off with the beginner track. So you have a number of courses and programs that you can check out. I try to put them into order. I think you should check them out. And even if you're a veteran breeder, you've been breeding for a long time, I usually tell people start from the beginning and work your way down. Okay, there might be something there you didn't think of, or maybe different than you did before. Because if you follow these tracks and you get to the end, you're going to be in good shape. You're going to have a really good idea how the website works. You have a really good understand how the Founders Program works, where to find the other programs and courses throughout the website so you can find out what you need to do. So we go into the beginners track, then we go into the intermediate track, and then we have 2 advanced tracks. We have an advanced track 1 and an advanced track 2. Okay. And just take your time. Just go through them. Make sure you just write down where you left off and just make your way through. And I think you're going to have a lot more confidence after that, because I've had members. I remember, I think Derek was one who joined a long time ago, and he got in there. He's like, wow, this is really cool. There's a lot of information, but whoa, what do I do? He was lost. He didn't know what to do. And so he ended up quitting because he kind of got frustrated. And I had a few people say that, where do I start? What do I need to do? So that's when I create the Start Here pages, which really helped a lot. I didn't have as many people ask him, what do I do? And a lot of times when they do, I say, hey, check out the Start Here pages. If it doesn't answer your questions, get back to me. We'll get together. We'll do coaching calls. I'll help you walk through it. And sometimes I need to do that, Frank. I need to actually take them in there, just do what we're doing here, and actually figure out where the snags are and walk them through it and show them where everything's at.
Yeah. I mean, like Kenny said, it's all laid out there right in front of you. But the big thing is what we was talking about a while ago. Just don't do like I was doing at first, reading a little of this, a little of that, and you're just all over the place. Start Here for it, and they're great. But I'll tell you, what is one of the top most money's worth in this whole thing. And Kenny's going to get to it, but I'm going to go on and mention it.
Sure.
Is the defects. Okay. Disqualification to defect. I promise you, after you get done with that, you go out in your yard, you're gonna be surprised. I promise you that.
Yeah. And I've had a couple of people tell me they really want to join, but they heard that they heard all about the defects and disqualification course, and they're almost afraid to because they don't want to go out there and have to cull their chickens. And I'm saying, well, you can live in the dark, stumble around in the dark and try to make something out of nothing. And, it's just going to take you more money. Why not get in there, learn it, just, rip that Band-Aid off and get to work, and you'll be glad you did. In the long run, you're going to, in a few years, you're going to have a great start to a great strain. It's hard for people, emotional for some, but there's like 80 some odd defects in there. And we show them, we not only show you the defects, but we describe them. We have pictures on them. We show you how to eliminate them, how to breed away from them, the whole thing. It's a really cool program.
Yeah. But, Kenny, one thing I will say to this, and it's one of the slogans of the Breeders' Academy for serious breeders. And that's what you have to look at. Want to be a breeder, if you come in and do this, you want to be a serious breeder. That's what it takes.
Steve Miller says it only worked for a little while.
I don't know about a little while now. It hurt me a little bit longer than a little while, but it goes away. It goes away.
Yeah. So
not only that, knowing all of the defects, but also the station and the type, the proper conformation of body and the proper type. That I'm sure they culled a lot of those too that didn't have the proper type and conformation.
Yeah. Gamecock Country says, laugh out loud. So true. Culled half of my yard after a month of joining, and I need to do a second round soon. Yeah. But what's usually left, most of the time, unless you only have a couple birds. Okay. And we can talk about that too on a show, how you start with a couple birds, even birds with faults, there's a way to do it. But once you get rid of all those defective birds, sick birds, and maybe non-standard birds or substandard birds, what you're left with are usually pretty good birds that can kind of get you where you want to go, and if not, then we can talk about that too. So, but usually when you get into the Start Here pages, I usually tell people start with go start from the beginning, start with the welcome page, go to the members bulletin emails. And what that is, if you're on the free site, you join our Breeders Bulletin, which is good information, but the members bulletin has more information, better information. And if I need to get a hold of you or let you know what's going on, then I can directly email my members, which is really nice. So if there's any issues with the website or something's coming up, or we got a show coming up, or we got a special something, then I can let you know from there. And then you can click on the fast track, which is the beginner's track, the intermediate track, the advanced tracks. And then you can schedule a coaching call. And all the information for scheduling a coaching call is there for Frank and I. You have our email addresses, okay? All the information for contacting us. So that's all in there. And then Ask Kenny. Now, understand this, and I put this in there so it's obvious there's ways to get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me all through the website. If you even leave a comment on an article, I'm going to see it. Okay, I'm alerted of anything that's posted in this website. I'm immediately alerted. I get an email. I know exactly what's said. I can go in there and respond to it right away, or you can go to this Ask Kenny and do that, or you can actually go up to my profile and send me a notification, and we can schedule either a coaching call or I can answer your questions. So there's so many ways to get a hold of me in this website. It's not even funny, but I did create that, Ask Kenny. And then anytime I have a serious update to the website or there's something I really want you to know, I usually put it in the website updates. Okay.
Well, see, he does not make himself available to the general public. He makes himself available to his members and only his members.
Yeah, for the most part. Yep.
Well, we've said this a million times, and it's so true. You can't sell a product, okay, and have members and then turn around and give it to somebody else. That's not fair to the members. Me and Kenny talked about this often. And there was things that we was going to do in the past, and Nancy's like, hey, guys, that's not fair to the members. And Kenny's like, yeah, Nancy, she's right. It's best to keep it that way. But that's the reason for the members being here, because we're not sharing this with anybody else besides the members. And one big thing I might add about joining the Breeders' Academy, it will show you and learn you and train your eye to the proper form and function of the bird. Now, you might think, oh, what's he talking about? I already know that. Not in this way you won't. Anything, it's just like a four-wheel drive truck. You can't have a four-wheel drive truck and it be 2 inches off the ground with street tires, 3 foot wide. It has to be built in a certain way. And that's the way we train inside the website on the birds, is to build them in a certain way. And Kenny, he'll get to it. He's even got the standard in there showing you what the bird on each strain should look like and be formed as.
We should have a warning sign. Warning. Once you join the Breeders' Academy, you will never look at your birds the same again.
I have a certain phrase. It's we change the way you think about breeding and the way you breed your fowl. But the members do have a phrase for what Frank was talking about. Pay to play. You got to pay to play. Okay. And they're very protective over that. And I don't blame them. Frank's right. I mean, this is important to them. If you want the goodies, you got to pay for it.
That's right. That's why I call it the VIP room, because they are very important people to us.
I like the round table better.
Round tables. Yeah. I like the round table too. But these guys are very important people to us. Guys and gals.
They've helped. The ones that's in there, the ones that's been there for a long time, and some that's not even been there long, they've helped Kenny over the years make what we're showing them right now. They're a lot of the reason it's set up in a certain area or way. There's no better input than a member's input, really, in building the website.
They've really helped me shape this. They've helped me shape the website. They've helped me shape the show, the podcast, and the live show. And they've helped me find the snags, even in the Founders Program. We're not big snags, but I think the biggest one was not a snag for the course itself or stage 4. Obviously, it works. It's a great stage, but explaining it properly, that was the key. And I had a number of members who helped me by their questions figure out a way to explain it to them better, which was really cool.
And the thing about it is, I know a lot of them sitting out there asking, well, does this truly work? And what I have to say to them is, look at Kenny's birds and look at my birds, and then ask that question. Once you understand it, it almost becomes just like breathing or walking or standing up. I mean, it gets in you to the way that it just flows out of your mouth, and you don't even realize you're really saying it. I mean, and once you learn it, it's there forever. It's with you. It's a tool that you can use for the rest of your life.
Yep. It's a great method. I've never seen anything like it before. There's a lot of great breeders who used it and use it now. Some of them don't even realize they're using it. They just know the steps. Okay. If they could get rid of the old junk, get rid of the junk that's in between and some of the old wives' tales, they would be right there. They would be golden. Some people get so close and they just have something in the way, and they would be golden if it wasn't for that. It would get you away from these other programs like the 7/8 the method, or the 7/8 method, the trio method, the 1/16 infusion method, the so-called 5/8 3/8 method, which is, it's a method, but not the method they think it is. There's so many methods out there, and that's one of the things we're going to be covering. I'm working on the outline too, and it'll be in the back end for my members, is why breeding programs are important. And we're going to talk about all the different breeding programs that are out there, the most popular ones, and we're going to compare it to the Founders Program. I kept putting it off because I wanted to do it right, but if my members could see the topics that we plan on covering in the back end, oh, they're going to flip out. We got some really good topics to cover. I can't wait. I just got to get past the holidays. So, but we do daily articles. So every weekday, Monday through Friday, you're going to get a new article. You don't have to read them all. You don't have to stay up to date. You don't have to make sure you get every one of them. If it looks like something that's interesting, you read it. If you don't worry about it. Go to something else. Go to the programs and courses page. Just know that I'm posting a new article every day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kenny, one reason I hold this the Founders Program and the website at a higher level is I look back on a lot of these breeders over the year, me a kid growing up. And some of them would have some of the best birds, best looking birds, just beautiful birds. But they'd only have them for 4 or 5 years or until that hen and cock passed on.
Yeah.
And then they were gone, never be. And the reason for that was they didn't know how to maintain. They would get lucky enough to get that niche or nick, and it would produce beautiful birds, but they didn't know how to maintain them. They didn't know how to breed them to a purity of blood. So what did they do? They started downhill. They infused outside blood. And pretty much what they done, they diluted those birds out to where they didn't exist anymore. They was gone after a few years of adding blood to them and, you know, pretty much starting over with them again. And you could watch the progress of it. They would go right on downhill. And well, what happened? Well, I lost old cock or I lost old hen. Now, I'll give you an example. Bobby Bowles, Azels, which he killed everything that he had on his yards, but there's still Bobby Bowles out there somehow. I don't know how that happened. But when the cock died, that was it. But if he'd only knew how to maintain a family and take back and get the fullest of that one bird's genome, he would have had them for years upon years. But once that cock died, he didn't have them anymore because he didn't really know the way to maintain them or make them better.
They either can't get there or they get there and don't know how to keep it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
or
it.
they make the mistake of doing a step that they shouldn't at that time.
Yeah. They make so much progress, and then they say, okay, I'm going to infuse new blood to freshen them up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Idea what they just did.
Yeah.
You know, and when I explain it to them, they're like, oh, God, I can think of a couple of members who that's all they did all the time. And when they realize what that does and what the consequences are, they almost want to get sick to their stomach. They were so far off. But so we were talking about it a minute ago where if you want to read it, you can read it. If you don't, all you do is like I did here, you highlight, let's say a section or even the whole page. You go down to, you right click it, you go down to speech and then start speaking, and it'll just do it for you. And you just kick back and listen to it and enjoy it. And it sounds really good. I can't play it here. You wouldn't hear it. I just hear it in my earpiece, but you wouldn't hear it. So I don't want to do that. Every time I do that, I can, and you can stop it too,
Pause it.
Let me see. Let me go ahead and, so start speaking. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear it.
Yep.
I know at this time.
Not the best sound, but you can hear it.
For a subject. In fact,
wow.
There are many who treat the subject as unattainable or
okay, so then if I want to stop it, I just go to
purity of blood is a much better way to go.
Stop speaking, and that's it. But it sounds really good. So a lot of people are asking a search bar, like how can I find everything? So there is one here. The only problem is you see how this is white? Well, so is the lettering. And I need to find a way to fix it, but it's a search bar. So what you do is you click this and you click there, and then you can either type it in or you can paste it. I'm just going to write breeding and just push enter. Nope. Let me do it over. Oh, there you go. I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So push enter. And then all kinds of articles, programs, courses all pop up here, and you can pick one to listen to. So it's I just want to make sure the members who are in there is a way to search the website. And
I get a lot of people asking about that search bar, though. They don't know it's there.
We need to make a video on that.
Yeah.
So maybe next time we get on here, we'll do a quick video and then I'll put it on here. I thought we already covered it.
I get a lot. We have. It's been in different segments, but I still get a lot of people asking about it, though.
Yeah, I wish I could fix that. But it works. It does. So we have our training library. You have your master's class videos. You have your programs and courses. You have the actual Founders program. You can get there. There's a number of places you can get to the Founders program, not just here. And then we have our quick start guides. So if you want to watch the master's class videos, just, kind of just check out the one you want. We have all kinds of them here. They're all labeled. And one of the things I want to say too, you can see where it says right here, click here for show notes. Now we have all the show notes for all the videos, whether the masterclass videos or the archive of the live show, all the other videos what you do, like the Q&As, anything that has some topic to it. Anytime there's show notes or information that pertains to that particular subject, you just click on that show notes. It takes you over there. The video is also there. If we did audio for it, that's also there. All the pictures and illustrations that go with the information is there. So yeah, so it's like you can listen, you can watch the video here, but if you want to know more, just click there. It'll take you right to it. And it's almost all the videos have that. You can go. Oh, okay. I thought you guys were saying. So I don't want to go into it because, you know, I'd rather the members see the programs and courses. Founders program. Let me just do this real quick. So the Founders program is broken up into separate pages. You have your introduction. You have your what do we call it, Frank? The pre-programming, and then you have the actual stages themselves, because it's broken up in the phases and stages. And then you have the stages, and then it goes into the extra material after that. And if I showed you it, you would know it. Okay, so, but it's all laid out. You just click one at a time. All the information's there. There's some banners there that really lay out the program nicely, so you can check that out.
You're making me nervous.
I know. I'm not going to go any farther.
Just don't click.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have the video library, which no, I don't want to click that. Hold on a second. They're all right here.
I love the video library.
So all the pages are here. This is just the introduction page. So we have, anytime I see a YouTube video that has something to do with, let's say, evolutionary biology, genetics, breeding, anything that other people have made that I think are really good, that are useful for my members, I post it on that page. And then we have all the archives, all the video archives. So for the live show, they're all listed here, and you can see, let's see, here's one here. So any of them that say members version and after show, those are the newest ones that those are for members only. Completely different than what you guys see on the front end. Okay, a bunch of those.
No holds bars, like Kenny said.
Yeah, you'll really enjoy those. So in some ways, those are just as good as the Masters Class videos. I almost thought about making them Masters
They
Class.
really are. They really are.
I figure if I did, and people go, okay, where's the latest show? You know, that one has to explain. So I just keep them separate. You know what I mean? And then down here is the members. We did about, how many did we do? Let me check. We do like a members live Q&A. We haven't done one in a little while. I'd like to maybe start doing those here pretty soon.
You done one last week
for the members?
Oh, not the members, the live show.
No, I'm talking about when we did the Q&A just for the members.
Yeah, we've not done one for the members.
We did a whole bunch of those. See how we did them? Yeah, there's a whole bunch here. I'd like to get back into doing those because those are really good information. So the members, again, can come in here. I know why we haven't done it lately is because after the Masters Class video, we let them ask questions at the end, and we usually just do it there. But you know what, Frank, I didn't think about it. You know what I could do is I could pull that off of there, make that a separate video, and put it on here.
Yep.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Well,
that would be a really good idea to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
But Kenny, sometimes the questions that they ask pertain to the subject matter that you've talked about during that behind the scenes.
That's okay. That's okay.
Video.
Yeah, sometimes it does, but it's okay. I don't want to have to work around it. So anytime we get into the Q&A section of the Masters Class video, because we do those a lot of times live for the members, so they're able to ask questions as we go. And then at the end, we do the Q&A. So yeah, I didn't think about that. We'll just do that. We'll just take that. Usually there's a good, 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A at the end.
At least.
I can put these here. Yeah, maybe I'll go back and get some of those and put them on there.
Let me say this. The one thing about Kenny and Frank is when they get behind the scenes, okay, we've already done the first hour for the general public, and then we go behind the scenes in the roundtable and do the other side of it. These guys will stay. It's not like, okay, we're only doing 30 minutes. We're only doing an hour. And then at that hour, okay, cut off. Here we go. If it needs more time, if the members need more time because they have more questions, they keep going. There's been times when these guys have been behind the scenes talking for 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
3 hours.
You know? Yeah. So they give their all for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As long as Nancy's right, because as long as the good questions are coming in and they're involved, we're there. Yeah. We're there. We'll stay right there and answer them till every one of them's gone.
Yeah. I want to make sure they're taken care of. I want to make sure they get the information they need and they're happy. It's important.
That's what they're paying for.
Mm-hmm. And then we got the audio library. We have some exclusive videos. And let's see. A lot of them there's a bunch of them here, but a lot of them are with Tony and me. These are audios that Tony and I did a long time ago. And he gave me permission to put them on here. That we didn't use these for podcasts.
Those are really good, by the way. Those are really, those are some of my favorite. I've told Kenny that a million times. And Tony could be talking about the weather and you'd enjoy it anyway, but when you add his voice to the good information that he's giving you and the knowledge he's giving you, it's great. I could sit and listen to those all day long.
I wish I could show them the page on programs and courses so they could see how much information's in there. But
quite a bit.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. I can't really show that without giving away the farm. My members would be really, really pissed at me about that one. So it's like we're back where we were. It's like, how do we sound smart when we're not giving all the information? How do we show the website when we're not showing all the pages? We're trying to show you as much as we can without, ruining it. Now, the podcast we do, it started out as me and Nancy. Okay. And then Frank and I started doing the live show. Then I started turning the live show into the podcast. So I just edited it down, cleaned it up, and made it sound good and turned it into a presentation. But what's neat about these is not only is the podcast there, but you also get the show notes and all the information that goes with that particular topic, which you don't get on Spotify, okay, or anything like that. So there's quite a bit extra. And if it's a topic like culling, that actual show notes will take you to the culling program. Members resources.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of pages for that. This is the Standard Perfection, and I'm getting ready to do more. Little by little, Nancy and I are working on those, and we're getting more and more done. So we've got quite a few on here. I don't know. What do we have? About 10 or 12 on here now? I know there's more on there.
Yeah, there's a dozen.
Yeah, there's about a dozen or so, I think. And then we have about another 15 or 20 that we need to get on here. But we got the biggest ones on here. They cover but there's other colors and other varieties that we want to get on here as well. Now, I usually tell the people for the domestic chickens, just get your Standard Perfection, your American Poultry Association Standard Perfection, and because I can't really put that on here. This is a standard that I created. I had all the illustrations commissioned by Diane Jackie, so this is my property. But I can't put the American Poultry Association's Standard Perfection on here. So I suggest you get that. If you need me to help, if you need my help in translating it, interpreting it, understanding it, then we can get together on the coaching call. We can talk about it, but that's the best way to go. I wish I could put that on here, but I can't. Okay. Then we have resource charts. So anytime I create a chart, find a chart that's really relative to breeding, creating a strain, genetics, I post it on this page. So it's available to you. It's also on other pages. If I use it for another page, for another program course, it's on there. But when I think it's a really good standalone, I put it on this page here. We do have PDF downloadable files that you're going to find interesting and useful. And then I'm not seeing the whole page up there. Oh yeah, the answering questions. So anytime, and I've been collecting these questions for a long time. Even before I had the website, when I was just doing articles for the magazine, people would send me emails, say, "Hey Kenny, I got this problem and that problem. What do you think?" And then I would, I'd send it back and let them know. But I kept all that. So anytime anybody sent me a really good question, and along with my answer, I put it on this page. And even some of my members who give me really good questions that I think my members can benefit from, I just don't put the name on. So maybe I'll put the first name on there, but I don't put the last name. unless they give me permission. And I put the question on there with my answer, and members have told me they really enjoy that page because they just work right down the line, and Nancy and I even thought about using those questions for shows, like for Q&As.
Those would make really good ones.
They would, really. Yeah.
Really would.
So those are there for, and then the glossary. Okay. This is something Nancy and I are constantly working on. And I go in there every few months or so. I'll go in there and start adding words and, expanding it and finding pictures to go with each of the different things we're talking about. And I was surprised. I don't know why. I just didn't expect members to really go in there and spend much time in there. But every time I turn around, they go, wow, I spent some serious time learning the words and finding out how things are, what they're called and what they mean. And I was like, wow, I'm so glad we did that. So we're always adding to this. And what we're going to do, most likely be on the back end, is every now and then we're going to do a show. Nancy and I were talking about it, where we do a glossary show, where we go in there and talk about the different definitions and terms, and talk about them and pull up the illustration as we're doing it. And we'll just like slip these videos into this like maybe we'll do C, and then next time we'll do D. And you know what I'm saying, Frank? I think that'd be a really good one. Yeah. Just do those every
because you think how important that would be, especially when it comes to the genetics parts of it, the lingo of the genetics. That would help greatly. Yeah.
So, and then as I'm doing it, I'll keep adding more words. That'll help me add more words to that too. So, and then sometimes the members will say, hey, I found this in a book. What does it mean? So I tell them what it means, and then I go and I put it in the glossary. So that glossary is always growing and expanding. I really like that thing. It's getting better. And I've got some really good books with some serious poultry genetics, regular genetics, animal genetics, evolutionary biology, breeding terms. There's so much more I'm going to put in there. I can't wait.
I wish I could screenshot my online class stuff and be able to show it on here. And compare them. That would be nice, to give them the similarities of it. Anyway,
Yeah, I'd love to see that. For every now and then, Frank sends me some information that he's learning. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And so a lot of times it confirms what we're already talking.
It's spot on. Yeah, a lot of it is spot on to what we are on here teaching. I mean, and the thing about it is, we know Kenny researched it for many, many years. Okay. I've researched it for many years and still doing it, but it just feels good when you see something that's in the trajectory of your own beliefs and your own outlook on it. It just makes you feel good, I guess you could say.
Well, every time Frank sends me something, it confirms what we've always been talking about. And he's right. I've researched this stuff like you wouldn't believe. I put it to practice. A lot of it some of it I learned from my mentors, and then I researched it, then put it into practice. And I'm to the point where I know this stuff like inside and out. I can recite it in my sleep. Okay. And then Frank will show me some information that confirms what we're talking about. And it makes I always knew it was true, but it makes my head swell. Every time he does, I'm like, yeah, it makes me feel good that I do not want to teach misleading information. If I find out it's wrong, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I'll take it off as quick as I can, or I'll go in there and put the right information on, or I'll make adjustments. I'll have a member say, hey, this says this, but I always thought it was this. So I'd go check it out. And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. The only thing I ask my members to do is don't just make a claim. Don't just say, hey, I think you got this wrong. I think it's like this. Don't tell me that. Unless you're going to send me the information that backs that up so I can research it properly, then otherwise you're not helping me at all. Okay. So that's all I ask is if you're going to kind of inform me that maybe the information is a little different or maybe wrong or whatever, then back it up with the information, the right information, so I can research it properly and change it. That's all.
I welcome that. I welcome that actually, because if I'm saying something that hits wrong, I want somebody to show me the true meaning to what they're saying. And then I'm going to go research what I've been teaching and then what somebody else is teaching and see which one that I need to go with. And I'm not beyond scrapping what I've got to go to something else that's a newer study or what have you. I'm not beyond that.
I'm just not going to change it just because you said it's wrong. Okay. I want to make sure,
If that'd be the case, though, Kenny, we should be a change a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't get that very often. Very seldom does that ever happen. I usually get a member here and there that will see something, or maybe I misspelled. You know, Robbie's a good one at showing me my misspelled words or my grammar. You know what I mean? He goes, Kenny, I know you're a perfectionist, so I think you might want to know this. So on page this, paragraph that, you might want to change this. So I go in and I change it, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, Robbie keeps an eye on the site too. Let me tell you something. Somebody gets out of line, he lets us know, because he helps us protect the best that we can, and that's awesome. It really is.
So we do have, because we do so many shows with Dr. Gallardo and Peter Brown, which I think are two great authorities on this subject. I couldn't ask for better people. It's so fun to talk to them. I love the information they provide. It's very common sense. It's very useful, very on the science side. It's not superstitions and old wives' tale. People love it. And so whenever I get them on the show, I mean, trust me, I don't take these guys for granted. I go in, I put together the best outlines. I make sure all the information's in front of me as if I was teaching it myself. And then I go and ask them, I have them explain it. Then after they're done, I go back and I even improve my outline after that. And so what we've done is every show that we've done with Peter Brown, oh, I'm on the wrong thing again. With Peter Brown and Dr. Gallardo, we've made a page for every single one we've done. So every disease is covered here. So if you have a question, I can't think of a disease we really, you know, like the more common one, not the weird ones that nobody sees, but the more common ones. If one of you members see something that we're not covering, then I'll try to get Dr. Gallardo on here and Peter Brown, and we'll cover it. I even want to get more broad, like let's say we have individual diseases here for the respiratory and the digestive tract and whatever, okay, parasites. But I want to do some shows where we're covering all the respiratory diseases, and then do another show where we're covering all the digestive diseases, and then all the parasites, things like that. So I want to try to find multiple ways of covering this stuff, so we're getting you the information. And I've had members say, oh, I just spent like a month just going through these things one at a time. So
they help you too. Those are good to go to, especially if you have something break out in your fowl. What to look for, the signs, the symptoms. Those are really, really important. Yeah. And then not only are the video, like I said, not only are the videos there, but all the information, all the text, all the pictures that need to go with it. It's a really cool program. And then we also have, it's a nutrition page. Basically right now it's the Maximus mix. It's the mix I came up with. That I worked with a number of nutritionists, poultry nutritionists, and we came up with it. And it was actually designed to be so that you could go to a feed store, and with the different ingredients, the different bags of grains and pellets and what have you that's on the shelf that's accessible to you, that you could go in there and actually create your own mix and come up with something really good. And we put this together, and most people, I mean, for years, people have been using this thing and they go, wow, this is the best thing I've ever done. You know, this way you don't have to go to a mill and have it mixed. But Frank and I are going to cover, we're going to go quite a bit deeper into nutrition and make it into a nice program and course. And we have the outlines already done. We just need to spruce them up, figure out how we want to exactly do it. And it's going to be multiple videos. And we're looking forward to it. Yeah, we're looking at probably 3, maybe 4 videos the time we're done. So it's a pretty really. I thought it'd be well more in it done because there's 8 outlines. There's 8 outlines, right? No, there's 3. Oh, only 3? Yeah, I think it was only 3. Now the ones you sent me. Oh, you know what? 3. I think there's 4. No, there should be 4. Could be 4. Okay. Yeah, could be 4. Maybe right. I was just thinking 3 because that's the one I'm on, the 3rd one now. So I think 8. I'm trying to remember why I was thinking 8. I thought here's the thing. It could have been actually broken up into 8, really, if you really truly wanted to do it. And me and Kenny was talking about that because we really didn't want to overdo it and want to make it too long. So basically get each one of them in, maybe like a 3-part, break it up into 3 different parts to where it's not overwhelming you guys. But we're going to go a little bit deeper into nutrition and some feed formulas and that sort of thing. And I'm actually working on it right now. It might be 10, 15 minutes a day, but I'm working on it.
Okay. Speaking of overwhelming, Lewis is saying he's 20 years old and he really wants to learn, which is really cool. Trying to piece everything together with the chickens, but man, I feel like the membership is a little too much for me right now. Hopefully by next year, he's going to be getting a better grasp of it. I just want to let him know that keep on going, Lewis. The more you read and more you go over the same content that you've already read, you'll catch more things that you missed and it'll make more sense to you as well.
I agree with that. Let me say this though, is the way the website's actually laid out is pretty simple. It's nice. It's going to teach you in the right way, in the right order, at the right pace. Okay. Now, this is my caveat to that, is that I don't know what exactly is overwhelming, trying to understand it, trying to absorb what we've already been teaching in the public, or the money. I'm not sure. My suggestion is he should get in here as soon as possible. So he's learning.
I think he's a member. I think he's already a member.
Put it back up again, Nancy. Put that back up again. I was thinking that he wanted to be a member, but he was.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I thought he was thinking about being a member, but he didn't think he would do it. Hopefully by next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the membership is a little bit much for right now. So, yeah.
So I would say, go ahead and take it off, Nancy. I would say, go ahead and get in here, check it out. Start going through the Start Here pages, learn, because the worst thing you could do is learn it wrong, because you're going to have to relearn everything. And it's really hard to get used to doing it one way, even though you've been doing it wrong and it's not working, to learn a whole new way. And so the hardest part is retraining people to do it a different way. Because they listen to everybody around them. They check out all the pages. He's obviously hungry for information.
Right.
Wait a minute. He's hungry for information because he's actually probably going on all these pages, absorbing what he can, listening to every show we do. He's probably overwhelming himself with general information when he can be more specific, go on the website and learn it step by step. So what did he say?
So he says he understands the basic of all the stuff. And yes, you're right. He is not a member yet, but
I think it's just basically the way it is right now. Everything is so expensive. I mean, it's hard to add, like for me and my wife, if we add one little thing in on theirs where we've got a budget on it, it can get a little bit overwhelming right now to where everything is so expensive. I told Kenny just a few days ago, I said, Kenny, if the economy was up and booming and going real good, you'd have 1,000 members in just no time. And I understand that.
Okay. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. Because if you can afford your chickens, you can afford this website.
Well, that's true too.
If you are willing to spend all that money on your chickens and all that money on feed, and you're willing to do it wrong when you could do it right. I mean, this is for the price of a bag or two a month. You can get the information that you need. If you can afford your chickens, you can afford this website. So if you have chickens, don't tell me you can't afford the website. I'm sorry, I'm kind of hardcore about that, but I get tired of hearing that. Don't tell me you can't afford the website.
Yeah, but Kenny, some people live paycheck to paycheck, though.
Then they should have their chickens.
Well, I mean, they still going to want what they want and struggle to get it, but they have to add their priority up and say which one is more important.
I get that, but I'm just saying that, no, I still don't agree with that.
Well, I've lived paycheck to paycheck before, and it ain't fun.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let me say this. If you are living paycheck,
maintaining your chickens, you're not improving.
Wait. Okay. That's what I was going to say. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have the Breeders' Academy and you don't have the fundamentals down to properly select, it's costing you more money because you are keeping chickens that you should be culling. And if you were a Breeders' Academy member, you would know the ones that you need to cull. That way, because if you're culling, you're not feeding them. You're not spending the money on feed to feed these guys.
I believe this website's going to save you time and money and effort. Okay. I believe this website's worth the price, and I still stick with it. If If you just have a few chickens, whatever, I get it. Okay, you're just trying to keep your head above water and you just want to have your chickens. Okay, but if you have a whole bunch of chickens, a whole yard full of chickens, you can't tell me you can't afford this website.
Oh, yeah. Now, yeah, I'll agree with that part.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
So Nancy's right. So if you get this website and you go in there, this is going to save you money right off the bat because you're going to find out which ones you need to cull and get rid of so that you get down to the ones that matter so that you can build a family. I don't mean to be a hard ass about this, but I'm so sick of people telling me that I go on their yard or whatever, or I see they show me their chickens. They got a whole yard full of chickens and then they say they can't afford the website. I'm sorry. I just don't go with that.
That's not a serious breeder. Well, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. You've got people that's got chickens. You got people that lives on a budget. They have to prioritize which is most important. A serious breeder is going to know knowing the proper way is better to that. That's my scenario into it.
Yeah.
But not everybody's going to be a serious breeder. That's the reason I say the Breeders Academy, that's the logo for home of the serious breeders.
Okay. So I agree with that. So you're either just going to have chickens or you're going to breed and improve them.
You're going to raise chickens or you're going to breed chickens. Which is it going to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you break it down for a month, $50 a month, you're talking $1.66 a day.
Well, if you go with the 3-year though, Nancy, it's not even that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you go with that new 3-year one, yeah.
Because you're saving.
It's going to be more money, but look what you're saving.
Yeah. So you just got to search down and get your priorities straight and figure out what's more important. And then you make your decision from there. But no, I mean, if you got a whole yard of chickens, just getting rid of a few chickens, you can then afford the website. So, I mean, yeah, I just don't go with that. It just really irks me when people say, yeah, you know, my feed bill is $500 a month, so I can't really afford the website right now. I'm like, oh my God, that's not just a few chickens. That's a lot of chickens.
That's different. Yeah. That's a different aspect. That's somebody just raising chickens the way I look at it.
You know, but I will say, Lewis, you know, you being young, you're on the right track. Is that you're smart enough to realize, hey, I've got the basic fundamentals, but I do need more learning here. And that's half the battle right there, because we have so many other people out there that just go by old wives' tales and, you know, what Grandpa Joe used to do 40 years ago, that things have been changed. And we have genetics that plays a role in our breeding fundamentals. So the fact that he's even here watching our show and stuff, I mean, I applaud him. And I hope someday that, you know, he'll be able to join us and become a member.
I will say this, and this kind of shoots myself in the foot too, is that and we're part of that. When you look at what's on Facebook, you look at what's on maybe in some magazines here and there, you look at what other people are teaching, you look at some of the things on YouTube. When you're just you're bouncing around at all these different people, all these different programs, all these different courses, all these different pieces of information, trying to ask people about this, trying to ask people about that, and you're getting what you can. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. It's what I call general information. It's like you kind of learning, but are you able to weed through the false stuff and really decide what's the good stuff? So when you're generalizing your sources, I guess you could say, and you're not being more specific and more directional, you don't progress. And so I would say, whether it's me or another teacher, if you feel that they're better, they have better information, I think you need to pick somebody, or even a good mentor. And I'm talking about a good mentor, not just someone who if you can find that one person, that one program, or that one teacher who can give you the information, I say jump all in and do it. Okay.
Yeah. But you said the key word though, Kenny, having the right mentor. You go back, you add all yours up. Every mentor that I ever had was wrong about something.
Yeah.
Okay. Some worse or more than others, but every one of them had something that I can disprove today with science. Okay. I mean, verifiable science. But here's how you got to do it. A lot of these people, when they do pick a teacher, they put them up on a pedestal. They put them up above everybody else. And this day and time, that's dangerous, guys. That's really dangerous. Some of them that's out there that does that, I mean, is you're going to, like Kenny said, you're going to go down the wrong path. So just be careful. Just be really, really careful, because once again, I'll say this. If you can't back up what you're teaching and explain it in a science-backed way, then you're not teaching. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So JP was asking, does the $50 get you all the information or just apprenticeship? We don't have an apprenticeship.
No, we got rid of the apprenticeship. So
anymore. So
you get all the information. The only thing you don't get, you get everything for the most part. The only thing you don't get is ebooks. Volume 1 and Volume 2.
That's only for the annual.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else you don't. I think you get, I have it set up so that all the levels get everything for the most part. We got rid of the apprentice. I think I have a couple people still on the apprenticeship program. I need to contact them, see if they want to upgrade. I'll give them a good price because they've been a member for so long. But we don't offer the apprenticeship anymore.
Yeah, because you didn't get any of the. You didn't get any of the good stuff. You didn't get any of the master class. You didn't get the founders program. You didn't get really none of the key information. Yeah, you got the library though, still, didn't you, Kenny?
You got the daily articles in the podcast, basically. Okay. Yeah, which is good information, but it's back to that generalized education where you're learning general information but nothing specific. Okay, so I didn't like that. And yeah, I mean, we thought about bringing the apprenticeship program back as a real cheap price just to get going, and some people would upgrade, but I still have a few people on there that haven't upgraded, and it bothers me, so I want them to upgrade. I keep thinking about going in there and contacting them, but that's what it was set up for, so that people got in there, looked around, they liked what they saw, they could upgrade to the next level, which worked, which did fine. But I'm not having any problem getting people in at the levels that exist. And then we thought about having one where they just go in and get the videos, that it's like it's a level that's all you do. You get the archive of videos, but then we found complications. Well, then they don't get this, and then they wonder why they didn't get that. And it's like, I don't want to mess with all that. So I just try to keep it simple.
Now, Lois has got a really good question there, Nancy, if you want to read it for Kenny.
Is there a way to do $50 a month without getting the plans? Just pay each month?
No, I can't. I don't have. That would be such a pain in the butt. If I had a bunch of members that had to re-up that way, I couldn't even deal with it. The only thing I can do to get around something like that, and I do it for some members here and there, is if you want to do right now is the 3-year plan. It's kind of expensive. I get it for some people. It's a great plan. You get 3 years, but you have to come up with $1,000. I get it. That not everybody's going to do that. But normally we have an annual plan that's $495. It's almost $500 a month for the whole year. It's actually a great deal when you break it down. So if you're willing to pay $500 for the year, then I can sign you up for the year. It just doesn't renew. And if you decide down the road that you want to renew, then I can help you renew. So I do have that, but I only do it for 1 year, so I don't have to deal with it. I don't do it for the other two. That's too much. No, I can't have time for all that.
Yeah, it's hard enough to keep up with, let alone splitting it up that way and making everything more difficult.
I've got like 300 members. If I had to do that for everybody, could you imagine? That would be,
that'd be all you do. You'd be doing counting 24 hours a day.
Every day I would be doing some of those. It would be terrible. No, that's
good if you could, but yeah, that'd be a problem.
Yeah. And this is so cool. And I've been hearing members do this a lot. And I actually did a video. One of our members is a dog breeder, and he has his own YouTube show. And I went on his show, and he interviewed me, and it was a lot of fun, actually. And we were talking about the basic fundamentals of breeding, and a little bit what the difference is between chicken breeding and dog breeding, and the similarities. And it was a really fun show. And matter of fact, tomorrow we're going to record another one, and we're going to have like 3 or 4 people talking about the fundamentals of breeding. and they're dog breeders. I'm a chicken breeder, so it's going to be fun. And I'm actually going to have this one available for my members. Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. What he said, and a number of other members said, is they went into this book club. Well, this is actually the review. So a lot of times I go in and I review my books, and I go through my books and I write a review and show you why they're good and what they're all about and the information they provide. And then you can go in and decide whether you want to go buy it, you know. And I've had so many members go into this one. Let's see, let me get back to it. Okay. That's a review. So the collection of books. Now I'm just kind of scroll through here. This is just the A's. This page goes a long way. There's all kinds of books that you probably didn't even know existed on breeding, genetics, evolutionary biology, evolution, animal breeding, chicken breeding, poultry genetics. I mean, animal health, almost everything that exists, even poultry raising, husbandry, production, performance, all that kind of stuff. It's all here. And I've had so many members say they went on eBay and Amazon.com and a whole bunch of other places and tried to order every one of them. I'm like, whoa, I can only imagine what that's going to cost. These are all books. They're on my shelves. Every one of them.
I got 2 in today that I'd ordered off Amazon.
Oh, did you? Which ones?
Yeah, it's animal breeding on genetics. So I found them hardback books. I can't wait to open them up tonight and look at them.
Yeah,
we've been too busy eating the candy that Nancy and Kenny sent us. They're really going to cost me a lot of money at the dentist, I tell you. What was you looking for, Kenny?
My groups page for the members on my.
Okay, well, while you're looking for that, Robbie brought up an interesting situation that is very true. He's saying that just get in at whatever rate that you can before the space runs out. Mm-hmm. And we can't take you on because we've run out of space. This isn't just access to a website. This is the time and attention of master breeders tailoring conversations to your fowl. Absolutely right.
That is true because it's open right now, and we are going to leave it open for a little while. But there's a lot of times we open it for a while, close it for a while, and for a while there we were only opening it like 3 times a year. And
the reason for that too is, guys, the reason Kenny and Nancy does that is to where we don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
if we can't take care of you guys, and do what we need to do, you're not going to stay in there very long. If you're needing help, we're not able to help you. So Kenny doesn't want to get in so many. Every time I mention anything over 500 members, I can see sweat big up on his forehead.
I mean, I'd love to have a lot of members, but I want to be able to handle them, So we want to kind of let them in gradually, and it's been working out really good. But right now it's hard to say no because the way we're doing the show, where we do the front end and then the back end, it really teases them. It's like, oh my God, we're getting the front end, but we're missing so much on the back end. How do I get in? So I start opening, and now I'm letting them in. It's working. I think what's happening now is we have such a good handle on the website now. I have a really good understanding and managing the workflow. So we're getting the work done. And I'm able to still manage the website, take care of my members, do the coaching calls, and still do the shows, get the information on the website. So it's all working. So I'll just keep letting members in until I get to the point where I feel like, okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Let me shut the doors for a little while, and we'll just deal with the members that are in there. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you is we do have a forum on the website, and there's a lot of pages on that forum, like general discussion, breeding and selection, genetics and law of inheritance, feeding and nutrition, healthcare and disease prevention. And members will go in there and post things and do a little communication. But what I found out that worked really good for the members, and this is exclusive to the members, so when you join, you're going to get a welcome letter from me, and you're going to get a link that'll take you to this group page where you can join the rest of the members. And this is the community right here. This is private. This is for the members only. We have chat rooms in there for the game fowl breeders. We have chat rooms for the domestic breeders in here. And they get in there, they communicate, they share information, they help each other. So, and I just, if I need to, I jump in only when I need to. But for the most part, I just kind of stand back and watch the members communicate and do their thing and help each other. It's almost like, well, they're not quite getting it or they're not sure. And then someone will go, hey, Kenny, what do you think? And then I'll jump in there and take care of it. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's all kinds of information. Like I said, the members are sharing different things and it's just so fun. You guys, you members, those are who watching this right now. I'm telling you, it almost makes me teary-eyed, but you guys make me so proud because it shows me that the website's working, that the Breeders' Academy is a real thing. You guys are learning. I can tell by the way you talk in there. You guys are really learning this stuff and you're really applying it in the way you're helping each other with the same information. Frank, we hardly ever see old wives' tales of superstitions in there.
No, never have I. Yeah. And now I do get involved on this particular one. Now Kenny's got me set up to where I can add members, but I don't add them. This is one that I posted here. Yeah, silhouette of one of Kenny's birds that I might ask that he nitpicked at his own bird, but that they really like this one right here too. They went after it, but I'm always trying to throw a little something in there. If it kind of boils down and it gets to where everybody is kind of relaxed, I'll throw something in there, maybe spice it up a little bit, get them talking, then they're back off to the races again.
Yeah, I mean, the information, the chat rooms, every time I turn around, they're chatting in there. And I just, because my phone will ding when someone does something. So I'll go in there and see what they're saying. Oh, yeah, that's cool, So I really enjoy watching them, chat with each other and help each other. And so you're not alone. You don't just have Frank and me. You got the other members. And they really know this stuff. They know the website. They know the founders program. They know the methods. They understand the programs and the courses. So as a new person, you're not going to be lost. They're eager to help you too.
I've seen a question and I'd say, well, maybe I need to go in and say something. And I'd go down maybe 2 or 3 comments. I'm like, nope, don't need to say a word. They've already got it taken care of.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So so I just wanted to show that you will get a link when you join up. You're going to get a welcome letter from me and you'll get a link to the Breeders' Academy. All I ask is you let me know what your username is, what level you have. I just need a little information so I can take a quick look inside the website and make sure that you are in fact a member, because I get so many people who find this page and try to act like they're a member. They totally get the information wrong. I'm just like, okay, click, you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have one that slipped through the fingers there one time. I had a couple of them actually. That was pretty good and slipped through.
Yeah, or one slipped. Most of the time, they never get me on the information they provide. Is it I go to click something else and I click them in there, and then I have to go back in there and get them back out again. So it's like I clicked the wrong button, So, okay, we're wrapping it up here pretty soon. So, let's see. I want to talk about the right menu real quick.
Oh, hold on a second. We got a question. Okay. Do y'all accept Zelly?
I do. I've done that with a few members.
What is Zelly?
It's like, I have a certain bank, and I don't know if all banks do it, but I know my bank does it. And so I've had a few members do it where they can actually. But it won't be the reoccurring. It would be, like I said earlier, you have to join for the annual. So it would be like, if you just join the annual, it would be like $4.95, and then it expires after a year. So you pay one time using Zelly or whatever, and then it expires. And if you want to get back in, we can just reset you up. So it works. It's a way to go. I just can't do the reoccurring payment with it. So, okay. So we're going to look at the front menu real quick. I'm sorry, the right menu. So like we were talking about earlier, you have the welcome start here page. Click that when you first join. The recent articles. So I think there's like maybe 6 here, 5 or 6. So whenever a new article pops up, you'll see them listed over here. And obviously if you go to the article tab, that'll take you into the articles. They're all listed there. But so that anywhere you are on the website, you'll see this particular menu, and you can click one that looks interesting. And then a lot of the topics are in the website. They're separated by categories. So if you want to go in there and just look at stuff on genetics or feeding, or let's say color and plumage, or let's say breeding methods, then you click on that, and then all the articles and programs and courses will pop up on the screen under that particular topic, and then you can go check those out. So it's just another way of navigating the website and maybe being a little more specific about the stuff you want to check out. This tab will take you to the programs and courses. God, I wish I could show them that one. This one will take you to the actual Founders Program. This is a chart on dominant, recessive, and sex-linked traits. So anytime I learn a new one, I put it on the chart, put it on there for you. This is a shortcut to the glossary. This is a shortcut to the standard perfection. This is a shortcut to the feeding and nutrition page, which we're working on right now. And then this is a shortcut to, if you have a question to ask me. Like I said, you can get a hold of me anywhere on the website, to tell you the truth.
Now, Kenny, I don't know if you mentioned it. I don't think you have. For the Spanish viewers and listeners, you still have a version of Spanish, right?
I do. And it's like all the articles and programs and courses are all in Spanish. Obviously, I don't speak Spanish. We had someone else do this for us. The videos aren't going to be in Spanish. So not everything on the website is in Spanish, although you have access to it all. So I hope that even though you prefer Spanish, you're more comfortable with Spanish, that you can still learn from the English parts of it too. I don't have the link to join the Spanish on the screen. If you want to join the Spanish, email me at breedersacademy@gmail.com, and I can help you get set up. I don't advertise it. You only get that by request only. So if you know someone who wants the Spanish version, have them contact me and I can help them get in there. The prices are the same, by the way. So that doesn't change. But it's good. I mean, the people who, the ones who have the Spanish level, they like it. They get a lot out of it.
You've had it for a while, though, haven't you, Kenny?
Yeah, I've got plenty of members in there, and it works for them. I just don't advertise it because, what the biggest reason I don't advertise it is because on the registration page, it only does 3 levels at a time, and then it puts them underneath. I don't like that. I want it to look neat and clean, so I do 3 levels.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and if I put a Spanish one on there, I'm gonna have to take 1 level off, and I didn't want to do that. So, but like we said, the biggest thing is, that one gentleman who feels like he'd be overwhelmed. You'd be surprised how you're not. It's gonna be easier than you think. You go in there at your own pace. We talk about this all the time. There's no falling up, but there's no falling behind. There's no needing to catch up. You're never. If you think you're feeling lost or confused, just contact one of us and we'll show you. We'll help you. We want that. I never want you to feel lost and confused or frustrated. And you'll see it's easier than you think.
It's going to open your eyes up. I promise you that, Lewis. I mean, it will open your eyes up. Things that you've learned in the past will be debunked, and new stuff. And I'll tell you what. I was in this when I talk about the old wives' tale superstition stuff. That stuff was confusing to me. I may have acted and let on like I knew everything they was talking about, but a lot of that stuff was just, I don't know. It was out there, really out there. But when you learn it in the way that it has scientific meaning and it's really the method and the way it's done, it's so much easier to understand. There's no guesswork to it. You know how to do it, how to maintain it, how to process every part of it. It's pretty much a directions to breeding is what it is. Yeah. And as long as you step by that and you do each stage to the best of your ability and train your eye to the proper make of the bird and the way the bird's supposed to look, you're going to have a field day in there.
This is actually easier than you think.
It's simple. Okay.
And I would suggest follow the Start Here pages 1 step at a time. Take your time. Don't feel like you have to absorb it all at one time. Here's what I do too. And like I said, you can read it or you can listen to it or you can just watch the videos. It's up to you. But I would suggest listen to it and read it and watch it numerous times over and over again. I'm a big repetitious kind of guy. I will watch something, listen to it or read it over and over again. If I hit a certain part of that article that's especially good, I'll read that paragraph a few times, and then I'll actually sit and contemplate what I read. I know it sounds funny, but I do take that kind of time. I don't waste time just to learn or read through it. I want to learn it. And I'll drive Nancy crazy because I'll listen to the same thing or watch the same thing over and over again. And she's like had enough of it. You know what I mean? And sometimes Tawny too. But that's how I learn. And I
Kenny,
that.
How many times do you do that? Say you read something 3 or 4 times, okay? But how many times each time you read it do you learn something from it? You get something different out of it each time you read it. And that's how I learn.
That's absolutely right. Because your mind wanders. It's like it hits a certain spot and it wants to stick there, and you'll keep going, but your mind's still over here thinking about this. And we what was it? I think it was a after show. It was a behind the scenes. We were doing a members only segment, and members were telling us that they really enjoy the master's class videos because every time they listen to it, they learn something new, and they can listen to it over and over again. And every time they listen to it, they learn something new. And it's because we put so much information, like we may do an hour or 2 hour video, but it's packed with information that I guarantee you that every time you listen to it, you're going to feel like you learned something new. You just are.
I don't know how many times I've done that. Read, listen, watch a video. Well, like this is get perfect. The way I am. How many times have you watched a movie? Say you watched a movie 2 or 3 times, like Jaws. I love Jaws. I'm a big Jaws fan. And I've watched these movies millions of times, okay? But each time I watch it, it's like I find something that I hadn't never seen before, you know? And like Kenny's saying, it could have been I was distracted, thinking about something else, what have you, you know? But it's just like watching a rerun. You pick up pieces that you think that you had never noticed before.
Yeah. So So I suggest read it, listen to it, watch it over and over again. And here's another with your movie analogy is, and Tanya and I were talking about just the other day, was I like having such a wide variety of movies because by the time I get to one, let's say I watch one and I don't watch it till the next year, I go to watch it again. It's almost like you're watching it for the first time in a way. You know what I mean? It is. And so when you go on the website, let's say you read a particular course, and you had a pretty good handle on it. But even though you have a handle on it, you go back, let's say later, months later, and you go read it again. I guarantee you'll understand it differently. It'll have such a different meaning for you the next time you read it.
Been there many, many times. And I do that today. That's the reason a lot of times in my classes and stuff, I'll read something and it takes me longer because I'll read it numerous times before, you know, it actually gets sunk in. And I'm like, well, why didn't I come up with that the last time that I read it? You know? So I just kept reading something over and over again, afraid that I left something out of it. You know, I'm terrified I left something out of it. Didn't get the right meaning from it, I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's why I listen to like ebooks, not ebooks, but audiobooks. I'll buy one that I want to learn from. Rick Coast and his genetics ones are really good. I have one on epigenetics, and I probably listened to that 10 times. I just love it because I just learn something new every time I listen to it. It's almost like I want it to ingrain in me. And you know when you finally got it, because sometimes you don't feel like you got it. Sometimes you don't feel like you absorbed it. You know when you got it is when you're talking to one of your friends at a bar, or you're talking to one of your friends at a party or a get together, and it's coming out of your mouth like it's always been there and it's flowing like perfectly. And you're like, wow, was that me? And then you realize, wow, I've been absorbing this. I didn't realize it. You know what I mean? So that repetition really works. That's the mother of learning right there. Repetition.
It is.
It really is. So
anything that you study up on learning, that's always the key word right there. Repetition always is one of the main words.
What's the other one?
That's the way I've always been.
Repetition is the mother of learning. Something else is the key to, what is it? Why? How did I forget that? See, I didn't read it enough.
Point proven, Kenny.
Oh man, my mind's everywhere right now.
Okay, well, you have been on for 2 hours and 8 minutes.
We're gonna wrap it up. I only got a couple more things. I did want to show this because everybody's wondering. Like we said, we do the front end. Then the members come in here. They click on this members only show. It takes them to this page. They go down a little bit. They can actually watch the video here, which is the after show, the members only show, the members live Q&A. Anything we do for the members that's live is done here. And then they can actually go down to here, click on this banner, which takes them to the private chat for the members. So, and where they can watch it and chat too. So if you just want to watch it, you just go here. If you want to chat and watch it, you click here. And that's how the members do it.
And there's one other thing I want to add to this, Kenny, before we start getting our way off here is, and this is the biggest that I've seen, is all the members sooner or later are like one big family.
Yeah.
They know each other. They know each other. They talk to each other like they've known each other all their lives. And, a lot of these people, they've known each other 3-4 years, they've been members. And I think that's one aspect about learning that makes it so much easier for a lot of them that's in there, because they've got the other ones to help them. They're comfortable learning from people that they know and they respect and has the same interests as they do. So, just like you was talking about those chats, there's days that I see members having chats over one random thing all day long. Now, I don't know if they're at work or if they're at home or what it'd be. But like Kenny said, his phone set up, it dings when you get a notification. And my phone will go off all day long. And people will look at me, man, you're an important guy getting all those messages, And I'm like, that's the members talking to each other, nothing to do with me. But, yeah, I find that just amazing and everything else. It's just like they're one big family talking about breeding their chickens and helping one another.
Yeah. So if you like what you see here, if you like the show, you like the podcast, you like the live show, you're really going to like the Breeders' Academy. Like I said, you're going to have full access to the Founders Program, full access to the members class videos, and we'll be there to answer all your questions. We do coaching calls. We do the live Q&As. We do the members roundtable. It's just, and one of the things before I get off here, the members have been telling me is they love this new method, this new format that we're doing when we do that live show at the end, and they get in there. It's interactive. So they can get in there. They're part of the show. They can ask their questions. They can make comments, and they feel like they're more part of everything. That's what the back end has done with the show.
Well, I have no problem in saying this, guys. Nancy, Kenny, I have no problem saying this. I know that a lot of our members that's been in there for 2 or 3 years, they could actually come on, replace me and Kenny, and actually do the show themselves. I'm telling you, I've got that much confidence in them.
I thought about that the other day. Like, we could get like a handful of members. I can think of like George and Robbie and Derek and Steven and all kinds of them, get in there. Yeah. Have them, I could put them all on the screen. They could just chat and talk about a topic.
Yeah, but you sit here, drink a soda, kick her feet up, just have a good old time.
Kenny, wait till you watch the show over and read the chat room. Oh, they're chatting very much.
They're chatting, yeah.
Is it good?
I'm having a great old time.
Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling you weren't part of the show today. So
yeah, George said George said up here hold on a minute, right here. Says Robbie, we're going to get Nancy in trouble. She may not be listening to Kenny and Frank. She might be getting distracted response.
See, I'm not the only one that sees that. The members just told on you, man. So no, I have not been
getting me in trouble.
I have not been in the chat room once, and I'm looking at the comments in the corner there, and there's been 195 comments.
Now, see, and that's mainly been the members talking to each other. Well, of course, Nancy, but mainly talking to each other. Mainly talking to each other.
Half of them, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. We probably bored the hell out of the members. They know all this. Hopefully, you guys who are thinking about becoming members, I hope we gave you the information you need to make a decision, and hopefully you do become a member. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to enjoy it. We only showed a little bit. I mean, I really can go into some of the pages and show it off like I really would like to. Cool. Okay, see you guys later. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys' help.
Love y'all.
See you later.
Bye.